Let's talk about PvP since the update. I think that the biggest thing that changed in the update, I mean, they added some nice new content. The loot keys are really nice, and those islands help out a lot. But I think the biggest change is their change to the PvP system. And everything that I've read so far, it wasn't even mentioned in their release notes. So there's a lot here, and we'll have to talk about some of what happened and kind of the response out of that. So the biggest thing that they really changed was they allowed the first turn for a lot of those main multi-person skills to be used, all those area effect skills. I've heard a lot of people talk about this since that time, that basically what they did was provide more energy at the beginning. So that some of the talk had been that early on, for defenders in the past, they maybe only started with something like 4 or 5 energy, and now they're starting with 7 energy. That could be the case. We don't get to actually see if it's just a turn requirement or an energy requirement that's not allowing them to use those skills. But no matter what's happening, the change, effectively is that Mass Effect high damage person skills can be used on the very first turn for the defenders. So you've really got two routes when you're trying to attack. You can either try to build a team that's so tanky that they can live through 4 multi-person attacks, because that's it's a great group you can put together for defenders. Or you can try to make an all-fast team and try to get out in front of those attacks and do some damage and take out some characters before that happens. And it seems to me that number 2, that all-fast character team, is the only really viable option. Even IGOROK, and some of the other tanks, they can really all be taken out if you have 4 consecutive heavy-hitting blows that way. So fast team is the only thing that's been working for me. Sometimes I do a combination of fast team and IGOROK, because if he does survive through that first turn, then he's got a pretty good chance that he can freeze the defending team, and you can have another turn to go after that. So I'll show a couple of the offensive and defensive teams in some of the battles that I've done. First, we'll take a look on the defending side. You can see I was working through some stuff and I had kind of mixed success, and I had a lot of losses right in a row. All of those losses, I had basically my normal speed team that was just 4 normal speed characters with high damage multi-person attacks. So if they didn't attack anyone first, then it'd probably wipe out the whole team. And every one of those losses was to an entirely fast team. So that's, people are putting them together, and that's what they're winning with. They put those fast teams together, and you can take out a normal team, normal speed team, most times. So then I switched over to a new combined team. I'll show that here. So I've got Masuta Kira, I've got Black Diamond, and those are really my anti-fast team characters. We'll see, they don't actually have any fast characters in this team that came to attack, but I think, so it's been almost 24 hours with only, maybe even a little more than 24 hours, with only 1 attacker. And I think the reason is that a lot of the people who would be attacking are deterred by these 2. Most groups that are attacking right now are the fast teams. They're the only ones that are really making a lot of progress. And the goal is, with these 2 and their Mass Effect spells, you would likely be able to take out Black Diamond, and a offensive Black Diamond for sure. Her health is really, really low. Masuta you may not be able to take out, but you'd have him very low, and you also would have a fair chance at taking out someone like Willow. So here, against this normal and slow speed, they're trying to make a really tanky team that will last through a turn. They're kind of trying for that primary one we were just talking about. But you can see, even with this team that's not as high attack as you possibly could have, you just about decimate them on the first turn. And they did get to have Chief NubNub come in and do his voodoo chant. And you'll see the health goes back up to just about full for both of them. I think it may have gone completely full, but it doesn't matter at that point. There's only 2 of them to take all the damage. I've got the first ascension there for Masuta, so he's doing a lot of damage now. 3 of our characters were able to take out that one. And then with Chief NubNub almost dead, and again, they've got a 3-level bonus and they still can't tank all those hits. So they just gave up at that point. I'm interested to see how this team will continue to do. Like I said, a lot of groups aren't going against me at this point. I think because it's primarily fast teams that are being used for offensive and they don't want to have the chance of being taken out early by these 2 fast players. I may eventually swipe Tasumi out. He's another one that is kind of a deterrent for fast teams because they have to take him out in the first turn. So right away, there's a chance that one of their fast teammates is going to be taken out. If there's a critical hit, especially by Black Diamond, she's going to take one of those fast players out. And it wouldn't be Masuta because he's, well, at least on his second ascension, or on his first ascension, his middle skill, he can't, critical hits don't affect him as a critical hit, it's just a normal hit. But for any of the other fast characters, you could take them out right away. And if they don't have enough firepower to take out Tasumi, and they've done some damage, then they're going to suffer massive damage that next round. Especially because IGOROK's likely going to freeze their whole team. So that's my theory as to why I'm not getting attacked more at this point. And when I do get attacked, it seems to be going pretty well with this team. I'll have to give an update before too long to give more information on that. Let's look at the offensive side. I had to put quite a bit of resources in to try to level up these fast characters, and was able to get the ascension I mentioned for Masuta Kira. And so I don't have a fully fast team yet. I'm still missing 1 character, but this seems to work pretty well. Here you can see Ella's got such low health, and she's only 1 star anyway, that she was taken out very low, and then that ×3 from that Pwn Undead skill that Masuta has took out our life, or the Life Reaper Brom. So that was really helpful. Now this team is 2 levels under our team, which is really helpful. And again, while I'm still trying to figure out any ways to just continue to get wins in this mode, I will continue to try to find any advantage I can get that way and just slowly work up the leaderboard. But here, this one's not too bad since we were able to wipe 2 of them out before they even had a chance to take a turn. And now we're just mopping them up. Here, we've talked about the power of Yokozuna before, but if you have the option, you've got to choose between him and someone else. If there's only a couple players left, you can leave him. He doesn't have all that much damage potential. If you're getting ready to go through a turn, and the rest of the party's left there, then it would be helpful to get rid of him, because he's going to do that buff and make it hard to take anyone else out. So it is situational. In that case, it wasn't too hard to make the decision. Let's look at another battle here. Again, I was able to find a party that had significantly lower levels. And once I have Black Diamond's next ascension, she gets a nice buff to the crit and skill for all light characters. So that's going to boost both characters' area effect spells. And those crits are really what helps out, especially with Black Diamond. She's got that 2.5 multiplier. So even some of the tougher characters that get hit by that take a lot of damage. And here again, we've got, after our turn, the defenders only had 1 left after the 3 characters on the fast turn. So if I had a fully fast party, and I'm sure I'll try to work that in to get Shadow Blade up high enough, that would really help out. But I'd probably still just be swapping him in and out depending on the defending party. Let's look at one last battle. Here they've got an IGOROK. Again, we've got that level advantage. We're going to do Blade Storm. Start it off and just hope for crits. There we get one on Bovus. this is the hard part. Really got to make... this is where having Shadowblade instead of IGOROK would have been nice to not have to make this kind of decision. Because now we've got to wait for, for an extra attack. We could have taken out another character. Ideally, if there was one more fast character with a multi-person attack, that would be the best for this group. And if that's not the case, it might make more sense to have only one fast area effect and 2 single people, so like Shadowblade and Willow. It's just hard to have them all down to low health, but they still get their chance to attack. You really have to finish them off, because this fast team is incredibly squishy. Luckily, we're able to finish them off without any trouble here. I think the thing that's going to help to get up to being able to attack higher level teams with pretty good odds, I think that's going to be related to continuing to get the Ascensions, especially Black Diamonds. I've only got 1 Celestial Evo to go, and I've been trying to hit that level as many times as possible. Just having a really hard time getting that Evo, and then, then I'll have her Ascension. And then just continuing to work up those other teammates and figuring out the best route for different teams that are defending. Let's take a look at some of these. So here, there's no lower level group. I don't like to reset too often. But there's no fast players in this team. And you'd have to, it's hard when you're making these decisions, because I know I'm not going to be able to take out Tasumi and IGOROK with only 1 single target fast player. We're not going to be able to take out either one of them, likely, just from the 2 area effects for the first 2 fast players. So I'd either have to transfer in someone like Shadowblade, or, take a risk on that. The good news is that after that first turn, IGOROK, if we can take out Tasumi, and IGOROK's left, he'll freeze the rest of the party, but our IGOROK will be able to go and likely take out the other 2. Let's give that a shot. Alright. I hope this is helpful and not too long-winded. I'm still working through some of this stuff too. It was really a huge change that they went with. Let's see what we can do. And they really shifted it from being difficult to defend but easy to attack, and now it's very difficult to attack and much easier to defend. So we might get lucky here. See if we can, we can take out Nitpick. Great, that really helps out. Now, we cross our fingers. It's very likely we'll be able to take this health out. There we go. We would have been in a lot of trouble if we weren't. See who Furious Charge hits. Alright. Willow's dead, and the other 2 are frozen, and that hurts, but with Polar Pounding, we should be able to take out everyone else. Yep, and IGOROK's done. And even with them frozen, it's still helpful because at least they can sit there and take damage, and as long as we can keep someone going. So, and we've got decent odds going against some higher level teams. Still difficult, much more difficult than it used to be, but we're working in the right direction, and there are very good rewards. One thing I've noticed is that the leaderboard is much, much lower. So the total scores that you need to work your way up the leaderboard, you can see, you can't see my absolute number of trophies, but it's very low now compared to the high numbers there used to be. And in some ways that helps out. In many ways, people that had a lot of gems or spent a lot of money could work their way up very quickly because it was very difficult to, or very easy to attack and win. And now that it's so much harder, dumping a lot of gems in that way isn't nearly as useful. So there are some benefits. I'm still wondering if they're going to keep it this way, since you really need to have a very specific couple characters in order to have a fair shot at winning on the offensive side for raiding. So this is my first shot with the new dungeon raiding. I am completely open to suggestions. If other people have had good success with other teams and other strategies, please let me know in the comments. Let everyone know. We'll try to collectively learn from that. As always, thanks for watching.